Welcome to a brand new episode of the Post Game. I'm your host, Davion, and I'm joined by Oronde,
What's good?
Matt,
What up?
Kaden,
Yo.
Frederick,
Yo.
and my boy Andrew.
Bryce Young, Rookie of the Year.
And today we are back with the NFC South Let's Talk NFL series. Today we are covering the best team in the NFC South, the New Orleans Saints. My team compared to you five bums. And I'm so excited. So usually I will let y'all start on how y'all think the team will go, but I'm going to start with my own team. Listen, the Saints have made moves this offseason, strategic moves in our offense and our coaching staff to make our offense a lot better than what it was last season. Derek Carr, coming from the Raiders, he will have instant impact, instant effect, and he will boost our team morale, boost our team productivity from being an 8-9 team. Next season, the Saints will win 10 to 12 games. Mark my words, and they will win the NFC South. That's all I gotta say. That's it. I'm done.
10 to 12.
10 to 12.
That is crazy.
With the second easiest schedule in the NFL next season, it's very well possible.
All right, what's the entire schedule?
Time.
What is the entire schedule for the Saints?
All right,
Let's look.
Let's go.
I got it.
Pull it up.
So they play.
Right.
They play.
Hey, you go ahead, Matt. You say it out.
They play Tennessee,
When?
Right.
Carolina.
When?
Loss.
Wait, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. It's a win. It's early
It's
in
in
the season.
Carolina, by the way.
Huh?
It's in Carolina, by the way.
I know
Yeah, okay. If it's at home, we're not
game.
losing.
It's that Monday Night Football game at Carolina week 2.
That's right.
Let me explain to you why they will lose that game. It's too early in the season for Bryce to understand it, to understand the system and how to play it in NFL ball. And Andy Dalton, if he starts, we're gonna whoop his ass. Plain and simple. It's gonna be over. So that's it right there. I don't even want to hear the rest. So
Brian Burns, hello, Derek Brown.
That's two. That's two right there. That's two back to back.
Okay. So Green Bay.
Here's the thing. We could lose to Green Bay. Let me tell you why. Because remember last season we whooped Green Bay early in the season, and they might be on a revenge type course, you know. And so I'm gonna say L. I'm gonna say L right there.
Okay. Tampa Bay.
Win.
Patriots.
L. Don't
Win.
even try that.
Mac
Don't even
Jones
try
sucks.
that.
Mac
Don't
Jones
even
sucks.
try that.
What do you mean? Don't even try.
Don't even try that. Y'all haven't beat the Pats in so fucking long.
Four.
It's in New England too. It's in New England.
It's in New
too.
England? Yeah, dog. Yeah. You ain't got that, dog.
But it's not
Yeah,
winter
dog.
time yet. It's still pretty
Okay.
nice out.
New
It don't-
England
it
is
don't matter.
winning, no division games, so they're
Wait,
looking
wait,
for
wait.
anything else.
Is
Don't
Mike
even
Thomas
matter.
playing though, or is he not playing? That's the real question.
Yeah.
He doesn't
Who
fucking play.
knows?
So
He
y'all
will
go- y'all might
play.
lose.
He will play. He will play.
Saints are
Houston.
not beating the Pats.
All right, here. I'll go three. Houston,
Okay. Then they
4.
Houston. That's a Jaguars. I think they lose that.
That's a loss.
Yeah, that's a loss.
Colts.
5,
To win.
Bears.
6.
Vikings.
That's a
Mm.
loss.
I
That's
give
a
the
loss.
Vikings that
That's
one.
a
That's a
loss.
loss.
Ooh, okay.
That's
Okay.
50-50. That's 50-50.
Justin Jefferson. I don't
Y'all don't
know.
even have nobody that can cover Justin Jefferson.
Hey man, shut
Yeah,
up.
that's
Shut up.
facts.
Shut up.
And Addison.
All right, bye week. Week 11.
Atlanta.
Where's
In
that
Atlanta.
game?
We'll split with
In
Atlanta.
Atlanta?
We'll split.
I think the Saints still that road game.
Yeah,
Detroit.
We'll split, though.
That's a
Detroit.
loss.
Detroit wins.
That's
yeah.
a loss.
They're actually good.
Detroit
They're
wins
actually
that.
good.
In the
At
dome.
Carolina.
Okay.
Carolina.
Jared
has
Goff is
home.
good.
Yeah, Carolina is the next
I'll
one.
give you that one.
Giants.
We beat the Giants.
No.
Mm.
Hey, listen, they beat us last
That's
season.
a hard game.
Hey, listen.
That's a tough
We
one.
are on a revenge tour this season. They beat us last year at home.
Davion.
We beat them this season.
Just
We beat 'em.
just like we did with some other teams, I think this is your season defining game.
Yeah.
Question.
We win this
Question.
game.
That's your season defining game. What's
Question.
your question?
Are you forgetting you had the same coaches last year, bro? Like you still don't got Sean Payton no more.
And
Like,
you're
we're not-
also
still-
forgetting the Giants have a good red zone defense. Y'all probably had got the worst red zone quarterback in all of it. NFL and Derek Carr. Just saying.
We're throwing bombs at Michael Thomas.
No, Chris Olave
He's
is the
not,
better receiver.
bro. This is week like what? 15.
15.
He's not going to be
Oh,
there.
man,
No,
he's a-
he's out. He's out.
I've got a few bones to pick.
And
real
then
quick.
And then they
After
finish
this.
off with Rams, Bucks, Falcons.
We'll win 2 of
That's
the
so
3.
easy. That is so easy. Oh my
Yeah, I
god.
give them 2 or 3 out of that, but
You know, I just
So
feel
what was
like
that?
they're-
That was what? That was 9. I think it was 9.
so yeah.
I'm gonna say win
Okay.
count 10. I'm gonna say
At
you might get
max.
you might get over 10. 10 max. 10 max.
10 max. I say 10 to 12. Last season, didn't I say last season that the Saints will win 7 to 8 games, and we won 8? Hey, just watch out. I might be right.
10 to 12.
Okay.
That's
Or you might be wrong.
All right, listen. So I'm gonna get. I've talked too much. I'm gonna let y'all talk about my team. Go ahead.
All right, let me start because I got numbers.
Oh boy.
Okay.
I have to do this, Davion. So we did talk about the future spending of the Falcons, right? We know that the Saints have been in the hole for the last 4 seasons.
For a long time.
It's
yes.
not going to get any better.
Nope.
For the next season, once they get their crap together, they're still down $77 million.
Are you serious?
Shout out Sean Payton.
$77
Even with the
million
converting contract.
dollars. Yes, they're still down 77.
Wow.
So when we speak about this, usually I'd be like, yo, they got things to do. But it depends on the health of their team. Obviously, Derek's healthy. Taysom's healthy. They're one of the more important people. If Alvin's out of trouble, I don't think he'll be suspended. I think he'll be fine. I look forward to watching Chris Olave burn NFC South defensive backs all season. But I've got to say, I do not have the utmost confidence, but I think they will be probably the division leaders beside the Panthers. That's all I got to say about it. And they're not beating New England in New England. That's all I got.
Okay, I can agree with that. But all right, is it my turn to talk about the
Go for it.
Okay. I'm gonna lay it all down for you guys. First of all, the Saints, to me, at best, they're second best in the division. I feel like, because for one, I feel like the offense is literally the same. All you're getting is Derek Carr, and statistically speaking, last year Derek Carr and Andy Dalton had basically the same numbers.
Can I?
Once
Okay.
again,
Can I
Michael
speak?
Thomas.
Can I speak?
Wait,
to-
hold on.
I want to say 2 things.
All right, you go. Go.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you good.
Josh McDaniels was the head coach in the Raiders. Don't get me wrong, Dennis Allen isn't that great either, but he's better than Josh McDaniels, for one.
Right.
And so
I can vouch for that.
and for 2, I would say Derek Carr in his entire career at the Raiders, he's had to deal with a sub 28 defense. No quarterback on any planet, not even Patrick Mahomes, can even last in that type of environment. All right.
Shout
So I
out
would
Derek
say
Carr
that
for powering
our
through that
defense
as well.
has been a top 16 defense for the past 5 years at least. So I would sit here and say that we will put him in a better predicament week in and week out. But you go ahead.
Okay. No, I see what you're saying. Okay. Cool. But I'm gonna hit you with some more things. Okay. For one, how many games are you really gonna get out of Michael Thomas this year? Like, that's my whole thing. I feel like that depends how many games you're gonna get out of him to see the full potential of that Saints offense, for one. And for 2, they arguably have one of the most overrated running backs in football, in my opinion. So
What are we talking about?
Who's gonna tear his
That's a
ACL in
crazy
week 9?
statement.
Tears ACL
Also,
tonight.
I do have to say though, their line is improving, but Cesar Ruiz, their center, is still recovering from a Liz Frank. He is losing weight, but that is also a big question mark. The anchor of their O line.
that, and then also like I said at end, to explain why I feel like Kamara, how I know he's one of the most great running backs in the NFL, is because look what happened when you don't have a great offensive-minded head coach in Sean Payton. That happened last year. You saw you saw the same thing he would do, but the touchdowns went down. He doesn't even average 4 yards a carry. And he hasn't even rushed for 1,000 yards. So that's why I consider him one of the most overrated running
He's
backs.
he's not a 1,000-yard rusher though. He is a dual threat because he always gets 1,000 yards from scrimmage every season.
Bro,
If you 4 yards to carry,
if you at least get 200 yards, if you at least get 200 carries in a season, I think 250, you should at least have 1,000 yards.
He is a finesse back, but also like you said, he is running with the formerly subpar O line.
I get that, but there's other guys that have ran with subpar offensive lines who have rushed for 1,000 yards, if not more.
Could you argue Jamal Williams could be better than Kamara this year?
He has more upside.
I feel
Honestly-
like from a running stand, from just running, like handoffs, yes. I feel like he's a better runner than Kamara. Kamara's a better receiver, obviously, but to me, he's just overrated.
What if they
But
started lining up Kamara in the slot?
hey,
They
shit,
could.
maybe.
No, you
Maybe.
do the Browns, the Cleveland Browns offense, right? You have the Hunts and Chubb, right? I want to see that on the Saints. You do that kind of offense. That's how you're gonna win games.
It'd be fun. It'd be fun.
That'd be fun to
because
watch for sure.
I feel like yes, but also like we said, I feel like the big thing that's just lacking is their head coach. Like I just feel like he's not gonna that's gonna be holding them back for the majority of the year. I feel like
I agree.
I feel like it's pretty much the same roster. You're just
I disagree with that statement.
I would say it's a upgraded quarterback. I will admit. If you look at their offense, I mean, what's really changed on their offense besides the quarterback?
I mean,
Jamal Williams. That's
Jamal
That's all you need
Williams,
is a
Another
quarterback.
year
bro.
with Chris Olave. They Rashid Shaheed had a mini breakout of a season towards the end of it.
Oops.
they
They have a
definitely
solid
guard now,
core.
like,
They have a solid core.
I'll say solid, but
bro, what you're saying about the Saints is really what you can say about every NFC South team. Same roster. Some that
Different
have
QB.
plugged, yeah, besides the Falcons, and there's not much change with any of these teams. I mean, I feel like the Saints. I feel like they could have made the playoffs last year, right?
Yeah, we stunk it up
Yes.
one game at the end, of course.
Yeah, so like I feel like the thing was just having a better quarterback. Andy Dalton was like serviceable, but is that really what you want?
Nope.
Like,
yeah, he wasn't
below
winning
average.
nothing.
It's a below average quarterback.
and I feel like the Saints always has like some weird injuries, like position group that goes like that doesn't go their way.
Bro, we had 4 or 5 starting quarterbacks last season.
Jameis Winston was healthy. He was hurt, but like they just played him.
He's not a good quarterback. He's
What?
just
Don't-
not.
Don't start this Jameis hate again.
Bro, it's not hate. Like, let's be real. Like
He's
and-
pretty bad. He's
him
pretty bad.
and to me, him and Baker are on the same frequency.
We're not gonna.
What do you have? 30 TDs, 30 ends that one season? Right?
I-
That's fucking
I-
terrible. That's fucking
That's
terrible.
heroic.
The turnover
No, that's heroic.
bakery.
That's
I would say-
heroic.
Jameis the goat.
No, he's not the GOAT, bro. Yes, he's a great guy to have on your team just because of the culture and like the drive that he has. Mentally, he's one of the smartest quarterbacks in the league. But when it comes to ability and talent, he's terrible. He's not good.
Bro.
He's throwing 30 picks. I don't think he's that smart.
Well, you need
30
fucking
touchdowns.
nearsighted
I
surgery,
think-
bro. LASIK surgery to see. I mean,
I think only like 13 of those were actually his fault.
Bro, does it
Exactly.
matter? You still threw 30 picks. He threw 13 picks.
That's not
30 to
but-
13 is a lot better than
That's pretty
than
bad.
having all of them still be his fault. Anyways, moving along.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, back to
The
the
Saints-
Saints. So, realistically, do you guys think the Saints could win the division? And if so, do you
They
think
have-
it could be handsomely? Like, do you really like? I know you guys are Panthers fans, and some of y'all are other teams fans, Patriots, but do you really think like because me personally, I think this is the Saints division to lose. I think Carolina are a season off to figure out what Bryce is going to do. I think Atlanta are a season off to see what their whole all they have to do. And Tampa Bay, they're going to stink. They're going to be probably the top bottom 5 in the NFL. And so,
Yeah.
like, do you really do you guys think like tell me your odds? Like, what are the odds of Saints win? Like, how high are they?
I think 80%.
I'm gonna say 60-40 between the Panthers. I mean, I
80.
don't know.
80 was crazy for me to say. I'll give him 50.
That's
50. I'll
whoa.
give him 50. My bad.
80 is crazy.
He said,
Wait, with Dennis Allen at head coach,
listen,
he's getting fired week 3.
no, he'll be fired. He'll be fired on Black Monday if we don't make the playoffs.
Well,
Where are you getting that
got
wild
it.
card spot though? I mean,
What, Freddie?
I think
Nothing. I didn't even say nothing.
I think really it's 25% because I feel like it's 25 between all 4 of these teams.
what?
Oh,
I
What?
The
know.
Bucks are
I
at, the
think-
Bucks are at
division.
0. The Bucks are at 0.
I
Vikes
think
are
you
at
can
5%.
argue Atlanta, Carolina, Saints. All those teams have an easy shot of winning this division. Just those teams alone, though. That's where it can go which way. Saints probably do have the best odds, but I could see like it being like a 1 or 2 games, like where it gets decided towards the end. Like it's gonna be close. So
Right.
I feel like it's really just the Saints defense though, right? I mean, we're gonna what? Jordan Cameron. I mean, you guys really don't have any good defensive players. You
The
really
Saints
don't.
Oh,
have
their
the
their
You,
best
defense
you
is
really
good.
don't. You have Tyrann Matthew at
Cameron Jordan is
safety.
fantastic. All right.
He's all right.
Y'all
Out of
best
his
corner
prime.
gets torched by like every good receiver.
No, listen, here's the thing, but ours like that's always been the problem though. Our secondary has always been the problem. Like that's
Your
not something
secondary
that's
is a
new.
And that's why you're
liability.
not going first in the division.
What?
Carolina's
Your
going
offense will be
first.
limited. Your offense will be limited. The Carolina Panthers offense will be
How?
limited.
How?
Bryce Young, your quarterback play.
Wait,
That doesn't mean
Run
anything.
game looking
That doesn't.
good.
We have Andy Dalton. We don't need Bryce Young. I want him to
I'm-
start though, but like
He will
we'll let
start.
Dalton's
He's
going to get
not.
you 6 wins. That's it.
we want him
Like-
to play 2 games, and then Bryce got it for the rest of the season.
Bryce is starting week
I like
1.
his
so-
optimism.
Hold on. So I want to say something that just popped up in the chat, in our group chat. So Ollie, one of our friends, he just texted, Falcons might finish above the Saints.
That's not a bad argument.
What
That's
are you
not a bad
talking
argument.
about? There's no
The top
This is
three
a close
teams
division,
are
I am-
all
listen,
pretty
I have,
close.
I have never
This is
bet-
what the NFL wanted. They wanted so much parity that it's the NFC South is tearing itself apart trying to claw at number 1.
Script is leaked, dude.
Oh, so I think you're putting too much hope into Derek Carr.
Yes.
lot.
We need to realize
I
Derek
think
Carr
highly
is
of
a
Derek Carr though,
mid-quarterback.
because
I
of
do.
with his terrible, basically the terrible Raiders teams he was always with. He put up numbers. He put him on his back. He's not the strongest
Yeah.
carrier, but
There you
he
go.
got the job done
But-
when he could.
I hate
I
this.
agree.
I love Derek Carr, but I hate this Derek Carr narrative that like it's always the Raiders, like the head coaches, the defense.
I'm not
is
saying
terrible.
it's always. I'm not saying it's always
has
that, but
a
it does
lot of
play a big
games
role
where
in
he,
it.
But he also has a lot of games where they could have won, and he went in and stunk
That's
up
like-
the place.
That's like saying that's like saying none of the Chargers, inability to succeed is all on Herbert when he's clearly the best talent that they've had, but
Yeah,
they
but
keep
Derek Carr
having dysfunction around him.
Oh,
Yeah,
Derek,
You don't see them throwing the blame
Don't
at,
get Freddie
at
started
Herbert.
on Justin Herbert, but Derek Carr, literally, like I said, was one of the worst red zone quarterbacks last year. He can't like he's Jekyll and Hyde. He's night and day. You don't know what you're gonna get with him by the possession. He can either come out and look like he's a top 5 quarterback, or it looks like he's David Carr. Like you don't know what you're getting.
Right,
And you
and
know-
that's why you have Taysom Hill, right, for the red zone.
should
That's
be
why you have
starting.
Taysom Hill.
And you know who else? You know who other QB is exactly like that? Jameis Winston. He either looks like a top 5 QB or looks like a
I'll
bust.
also like to say Derek Carr is middle of the road as a pocket passer last season, literally in the middle.
But they had a terrible O line. They weren't they weren't like you can. Here's my thing is my whole problem is right now with the whole narrative of Derek Carr is that like we cannot sit here and put him in a box and base him around his entire time at the Raiders. I mean we've seen quarterbacks leave teams and flourish elsewhere even after being there for a while. I mean
Okay.
look what Drew Brees did.
Quick question. So, do you think this is the best team he's had?
That-
Derek
Wait,
Carr. This do you think this is you don't think this is the best team he's been with?
I think it's the
Offense and
second
defense,
best team.
offense and
Just
defensively
paper-
wise, I
on
would say
paper
yes.
wise.
No.
On paper
Okay.
wise, I think it's the second best team.
He's had teams with Khalil Mack and Amari Cooper. And
That's
those
true.
teams- those teams, that defense when Khalil Mack was on those teams,
Yeah, that was his
They were-
his best. Yeah, I
and
agree.
then he just came from where he had like you
Vontae
could say the
Adams,
offensive
yeah.
line was terrible, but Josh Jacobs did his thing with the offensive line, and he had Devontae Adams. They had a 1,000-yard receiver and running
That's
back.
true.
And they had
They-
Max Crosby, who's one of the best edge rushers in the game, even though that defense is a little spotty, but
Exactly.
Well, y'all
I
put
feel-
me in a box, huh?
I'm
I
just
agree.
saying.
I feel like this roster isn't like that much better than what the Raiders roster is.
I think it's more balanced because
Yeah.
the Raiders they had the best receiver and then the best running back, but with like the Saints they have good weapons all around for like every position. I think.
Hold on. Did you say
There-
best running back? Christian
Fuck
McCaffrey?
off.
Hello?
Well,
I mean,
Josh Jacobs was the best running back last year. Are we
No,
not
he was
doing
not.
that?
No, he was not.
What are
He
you
was not the
talking
best
about? He
running
had the
back.
most yards last year.
It doesn't matter about yards, bro.
we're
What's
just
the
talking
point
about
then?
a rushing standpoint. He was one of the best running
Yes,
backs.
he was the best running. Yes, that's
Are we
what I
thinking
mean.
about Nick Chubb?
Overall, no. Overall, no. McCaffrey's the best for sure. But yes,
Because from pure rushing standpoint, he's definitely was one of the best running backs.
Najee Harris, Nick Chubb,
no.
Derrick Henry.
But not
Who else do we have?
Najee,
no.
Najee, I'm gonna rush for 2 yards of carry Harris, and I'm gonna
Do you
get
see
one
his, do you
big
see his
play
O line,
to,
bro? Do you see his coaching staff? That's not on him.
I guess.
We'll trade for him if
Okay.
we. I mean,
but
fuck.
Najee,
He runs
That's
like he's 5'8". That's all I'm gonna say.
I think my problem is
You
that
say he runs like you 5'8", but like he's not dribbling brothers off the ground. I don't want to hear that.
Hey, I had him on my fantasy football team last year. I had to watch a lot of Pittsburgh Steelers football. I was not happy. I was not happy.
all right. So here's the thing. Final thoughts about the New Orleans Saints. I think we'll be a good team. I think we'll be a team that
I
will
think
come.
you'll be disappointed.
You know, I'm not gonna lie to you. Here's the thing. I will say this. It's been a while since I have felt optimistic about a New Orleans Saints team, and this is the most optimistic I've been since Sean left, since Drew left, since both of them left.
I don't know why.
You know what?
I don't know, honestly.
All right,
Well,
let's
anyway.
wrap this up.
Appreciate you guys for joining. All y'all, I'm not gonna say his name anymore. I'm done. I appreciate y'all for joining as well today. I've been your host Davion, and this has been the post game. Peace.